Howdy folks, Wes here. I'm going to attempt to do the impossible and answer 4 record threads in one video. So let's go ahead and get into it, see if we can't get this done. We'll start off with Mr. Mrhoffame's questions. The first thing is something you would change in rock history. And I'm going to sort of break the rules since this isn't even really technically a rock thing, but I would go back and somehow stop the East Coast, West Coast hip-hop feud that went on. It did a lot of damage to hip-hop, and it still hasn't really recovered yet from it. So it's kind of sad because I kind of played into the whole thing at the time. I was into collecting the different battle freestyles and whatnot that was going back and forth, and I sort of played into all that, but I would change that. A rock taboo I have. I was going to make it that I don't particularly like Dark Side of the Moon, but it's mainly because the local classic rock station plays Time and Money at least once an hour, and it just it drives me nuts. There's a lot more good Pink Floyd songs that they could play, but they play those 2 songs every hour, and it's ridiculous. But that's now a country station, so that's not a problem anymore. Third question, artist to put in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'll be honest, I didn't really research this. I don't know who's there, I don't know who's not. Don't really care. Most moving rock experience. I would have to say, I don't really have any kind of big stories or anything to tell about a big moving experience, but I have been to a lot of concerts, and probably the best one I've been to is Elton John came here to town sometime in the late, I'm thinking around 97 or 98, and I actually did camp out to get tickets for this and everything, and it was a good thing because he came back a couple years ago and then ended up having to cancel because he got sick. So I saw him when I had the chance, and I'm glad I did now. So let's say Elton John concert. And the 25th album in my 25th album in rock, which I don't separate by genre, so this is just the 25th album. It happens to be what I would consider to be a rock album. It's Blood, Sweat, and Tears 4. This has the song Go Down Gamblin' on it. It was the hit song off this one, which is it's a very, very much a rock song, but the rest of the album is more sort of jazzy a little bit. Blood, Sweat, and Tears is kind of a lot like Chicago in that sense. A lot of members and a lot of brass and really good music. So Blood, Sweat, and Tears 4. All right. Second thread. Dan in Canada with the best covers. I didn't come up with 15. I got about 7 or 8 here, I guess. I like Lenny Kravitz's version of American Woman, and I'm going to say this first. I'm sure I'm going to get hate mail for some of these, but do like Limp Bizkit's version of Behind Blue Eyes. I don't particularly say I like it better than the original, but I like it as much as the Guess Who. So Behind Blue Eyes. Depeche Mode, John the Revelator. They do a version of John the Revelator, which was originally done by Sunhouse, but I like their version better. It's sort of modern and it's very much Depeche Mode style. Next up, we have on the Higher Learning soundtrack, Tori Amos did a version of REM's "Losing My Religion" it's freaking incredible. It's a totally different song, but it's extremely. She put a lot of emotion into it, and it's just a great version of that song. Next up, I know Dan chose one off this album, and I think I'm going to choose one as well. I'm going to choose Lake of Fire, which was originally done by the Meat Puppets. Again, they totally changed the whole feel of the song and made it their own, but it's incredible, and I like it better than the original. So, Lake of Fire. Let's see here. Okay, from the remake of Romeo and Juliet from, was it almost 15 years ago now that this was done, but Quentin Tarver did a version of When Doves Cry, which I like better than Prince's version, so I like Guns N' Roses' version of Live and Let Die. Last but not least, Run DMC, Walk This Way from Raising Hell. And I'd never heard the song before I heard it on here, so, but that's just a great remake of that song. I love it. Thread number 3, Joseph's Thread. Okay, I'm probably even going to get more hate mail for some of these, but anyway. The first question, most overrated band. I know a lot of you talk about them a lot. I know a lot of you love them, but I don't understand Kiss at all. Just, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't think their music's very good. I don't think the whole idea of the band is very good. It's just kind of, I don't know. I don't like them. So, Kiss is an overrated band. Most underrated band, I'm probably going to get hate mail for this as well, but I would have to say Hanson. They sort of got put into the teeny bop pop genre with all those other fake people that don't write their own songs, and all they do is dance around, and it's just annoying. But I mean, these guys write their own music, they play their own instruments. They're not just some other teeny bopper band. And they're still putting out albums to this day, and this is their album from this year. And they make really great music, so I think they're highly underrated. They still haven't gotten out of that whole teeny bopper image that people put them into. How do I keep track of my collection? I just do a regular old Excel spreadsheet. Artist, title, catalog number, date the album was released, of course format, and I do grade the sleeve condition and the disc condition, and then I have a space for notes if it's something like a promo copy or there's some sort of bad damage that I want to know about to, if I see a better copy somewhere. And that way, since it's just an Excel spreadsheet, I can just email it to myself, and it's on my phone, and then I can see my collection anywhere I'm at because my phone's always with me. So it makes it really easy to do that. Okay. Has my music taste changed since YouTube? Not really. I mean, yeah, it's changed since YouTube. I've been on YouTube for 4 years now or so, since pretty much the start of it. But hasn't really changed very much. It maybe has grown a little bit, but not much. I haven't been watching record collecting videos, but mainly for only about a year now. Subscribed to a few people earlier than that, but haven't really been seriously into it until this year. Question 5, do I have any record pet peeves? Not really. Just beyond thinking you found something good and then find out it's scratched or something, when you're in a thrift store, whatever. Nothing major that I can think of to respond to that. First record I bought as a collector. I guess I thought about this, and I guess technically it was just this year that I can really say that I bought something as a collector, is the Arcade Fire Funeral album that I bought because it was like $20, and that's more than it would have cost me to get the CD. So I could say that is the first record I bought as a collector, even though I just bought it a few months ago. Okay, ever thought you need to cut down? Yes, definitely. I see where I'm getting to a point where I'm starting to acquire so much vinyl that it's like, okay, I have enough now where I can get rid of some of the really bad stuff I have and sort of give myself some room to build my collection better. It's like, like I'm showing a lot of CDs in these threads because my CD collection is way better than my vinyl collection right now, and I'd like to change that. But so yeah, I do need to cut down and make myself some more room for good quality stuff. Bought album duplicate by accident. It's usually never an accident. I do buy duplicates a lot because of the potential that it'll be better than what I already have, and most of the time I'm at a thrift store and they're 39 or 49 cents, so I might as well buy it and take a gamble on it being better. And now that I'm working on building up the spreadsheet on my phone, I will know what quality stuff is I have, and I'll know if it's worth buying the copy or not. And number 9, most recent album I bought. It was actually, I just bought 2 recently. I bought these at the used record store. I bought Joan Baez 5, and I bought Peter, Paul and Mary in concert. And I think Joan Baez was $6.99, and Peter, Paul and Mary was $5.99. They're both a really super minty cup. The vinyl's minty. The cover's a little bit dirty, but they're good quality collector copies, I would say. And the first record in my collection, since I do A to Z, it's going to have to be ABBA, Greatest Hits. That's the first record. And finally, we're on to Spellerine's questions. Just 4 questions here. First question, what do you look for in the record store when you go in? If there's not something specific I'm looking for, like a certain album I'm looking for, I'll look for like the dollar bins or something. Just I'm a bargain hunter. I like to dig and find stuff and explore and find stuff. So I like looking for the dollar bins. How strict am I on condition? It depends what I'm paying. If it's a thrift store and I'm paying 49 cents, then I'm not really strict. If it looks like it'll play and something I don't have and I want, then I'll take it. If I'm in a record store and it costs $10, then maybe I'm going to be a little more strict. And 3, do you have bloat in your collection? That goes back to Joseph's question. Yeah, I do have some what I would call bloat, which is just stuff that I have that I wouldn't really listen to again, or very often anyway. I do have some of that, and I'm working on cutting some of that down. And lastly, how do you do your sleeves? Since I store my records into an IKEA Expedit, I just and I get to be slid in and out like this. I store them with the flap at the top, and then I make it where I was doing it where the record comes out of the top of the sleeve, but I've started to turn them so I don't have to take the sleeve out. So I just do that because once it's in the bag, it's not going to come sliding out. I don't necessarily like doing it this way, just because I do have to take the album out of the protective sleeve, which just kind of negates the point of having this protection in the first place. So, but for now, that's how I have to do it. If you turn it the other way and you try to slide it in, it wants to bunch up or push off, and I don't like that at all. So thanks for watching. Hopefully I can get all these threads into one video. Just went and picked up Kanye West's new album today. Decided to just buy the CD deluxe edition. The vinyl stores around here, it takes them a while to get stuff in, and I don't really want to wait, so I'll buy it on CD. Looks like another concept album, and 808s and Heartbreak was a great album, so looking forward to listening to that. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.